Say questions for Kyle. Mark here in the third row.
Kyle, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Nick shared with us earlier that he talked to you before the game, and there was a sign on the board that said, "Let it rip." Tell me what that meant to you and how you think you let it rip tonight compared to how you played the first two.
I think that was more of a message for the team. We shot 38 threes tonight, and we got up a lot of threes, a lot of attempts, and just played basketball. For me, it was just coming out being aggressive and not so being passive and trying to get everybody else involved, and more so get myself going and let everybody else feed off of that.
Michael in the middle.
Kyle, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. I mean, when you found out that Clay wasn't playing, did it really feel like this was an opportunity you guys had to try and take advantage of tonight? Was there that added urgency? Obviously, you want to win every game, but
Yeah, I mean, when you lose an all-NBA type basketball player in Clay and an all-star, it definitely, it changes their team. But, I mean, Steph had an unbelievable game. 47 points is pretty impressive. But, we just went out there and did our job, and, I think we held them under 40% shooting. We played well. We finished the game, and we found a way to win a basketball game.
Standing all the way in the back.
Kyle, Jonathan Joe with Dia TV. You had a pretty big breakout game this third game, and the entire team of starters scored in double digits. What did you do to approach this game differently to really help this balanced attack?
Kept the pace up, kept our pace up, and kept going, and trying to get the ball out quick and getting stops and communication, and just kept playing. We know that they always can make runs in this building, but we stayed level-headed. Just continue to kind of just keep going and going and going and staying in the moment.
Janie all the way in the back.
Hi, Kyle. Janie McCauley from AP. How was it you guys were able to find an answer? Every time they hit a big shot or Steph got a big shot, somebody came up with a play. And also, I did see the fan shove you on the sideline, on the court side there, and how disappointing was that moment for you?
For us, we just, we know that they're going to make good runs and make shots, but we watched that third quarter, game two, and we just got to continue to play with pace. And that was the one thing about it. We played with pace, half court, full court, and that was a big thing for us. And as for that fan, there's no place in him for that. He had no reason to touch me. He had no reason to reach over 2 seats and then say some vulgar language to me. There's no place for people like that in our league. And, hopefully he never comes back to an NBA game.
Go ahead on the right side.
Anthony Snyder with The Athletic. It sounds like Kevin Durant's pretty close, and Klay Thompson may also come back in Game 4. How much over the next 2 days will you have to monitor that and almost, I guess scheme for 2 different teams?
We just got to prepare the same way. We're a real defensive-minded team. We know they got those those weapons, but we got to just prepare ourselves to be focused on ourselves, and that's the one thing we've always done, and it's kind of continue to work on ourselves and work on what we can do. We can't control anything else. What the Warriors do, we just got to go out there and do what we can do to get better, continue to grow, and see what we can make adjustments on.
Tim, standing in the back left.
Kyle, Tim Reynolds with the AP. The finals is obviously, it was a new frontier for a lot of you guys before Game 1. And Nick, what he's gone through this year and the circumstances and replacing Dwayne and all that stuff's all been well covered. But how much has he impressed you at this time of year with, he looks like a guy who's done this a whole bunch of times instead of never before.
He got a lot of championships, in England and his G League. And, Nick, I know he looks young, but he's pretty old. But he's been doing this a long time, man, and his demeanor, like I've said this before, he literally yelled at us like twice this whole season, and his demeanor is just kind of, keep going and figure it out, and, all right, this is what we can do. This is what's happening, and his mind for the game has been special, and, the growth throughout the year has been pretty good for him. He's not a first-time head coach. He's a first-time NBA head coach, but the experience that he's had, in his many leagues and teams that he's been a head coach before, he's kind of stepped up and continued to grow with that.
Eric in the center.
Thank you. Eric Pingus, Basketball Insider's Bleacher Report. Kyle, the past years your team has kind of hit a brick wall in the playoffs, and obviously you've broken through. Can you share how the team has grown together to fight through? I mean, even down the stretch of this game, this team didn't quit. How have you guys grown to meet those challenges?
I think we just added a couple great pieces. Adding Kawhi and Mark and Danny with their professionalism. I think their championship. Well, Danny's and Kawhi's championship pedigree. Nick's coming in as a coach that's won a few championships in G League, and we got Patrick McCall who's got a couple championships. We got a bunch of guys who are professionals, and we got a good veteran group, and we all kind of just understand that this is it's our job, and never get too up, never get too down. Teams are gonna make runs, and you're gonna not win every game. You're not gonna lose every game, but you can continue to grow. To the point to play, until June, and that was always the goal with this team, was to get to June.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Leonard and Green will be right up.